So hello and welcome to the video. I am aboard the Anthem of the Seas, which is one of Royal Caribbean's very large cruise ships. Not one of their very large cruise ships, but it is certainly a monster, and it is now the biggest cruise ship that I have ever been on. I'm in cabin 12654, and you know it's a big ship when they need 5 digits for the cabin numbers. And yes, it did take me 4 or 5 days to memorize that number. But today I'm going to be giving you a tour of this cabin. It's the last sea day of the cruise, and I've been here for close to a week now, so I think I've got to know the room pretty well. And, spoiler alert, I think it's pretty good. So if that sounds good, stick around. Hi, I'm Matt, and I love cruising. I love the ships, the places you visit, the entertainment, and every now and again I'll also enjoy a drink. So subscribe to see where I go next, and perhaps get some inspiration for your next cruise. So as usual, a bit of thought went into selecting the cabin. You can often save a few quid by letting the cruise line pick a cabin for you, but I always like to pick it myself. Close but not immediately next to the elevators on as high a deck as possible is my usual strategy. So we're going to start off with the bed, which is configured here as 2 together. It's a very comfortable bed. You can just feel the join, but I've had some pretty good sleeps on it so far. Beside the bed is a fantastic invention of a plug which allows you to charge your phone overnight. A tremendous idea, and all cruise ships should have them. It's an American plug socket, so please take note. There's also a light, there it is, which again is not going to illuminate the whole room but is satisfactory for reading. This little bedside unit is interesting too. It's not very big, and I imagine if you choose to have the beds apart, all that happens is that they slide the beds apart and put those 2 bedside cabinets in the middle, which means the beds would only be about a foot apart, which might be a bit inconvenient if you're travelling with a friend rather than a relative, but 2 together works just fine. Just above are some storage areas. There's a lot of storage in this cabin, so I don't think you'd need to use these, but it is good to know that they are there. Looking down the room, you'll see it feels quite large, and it does have a great sense of spaciousness. The towel animals are back as well, I can report. This sofa thing is surprisingly uncomfortable. It's rock hard and really does not lend itself to leisurely relaxation. But I think this turns into a bed as well, which might explain why it is a little bit hard. Pivoting back around this way, you have a fairly large flat screen TV which is configured directly in front of the bed, which is good. Just over 20 channels, probably half of which are various Royal Caribbean promotional channels, but there's a couple of news channels and a couple of sports channels, and that's pretty much all you need. Over this side you have a dressing unit, I suppose you'd call it, and lots of drawers. There are 5 drawers here, and you can see they go back quite a long way too. Very nice, easy closed drawers as well, quite like that. In here you'll find a fridge which has nothing in it and is not particularly cold, but I'm sure if you needed it to be, there would be the facility to chill it out. Tea and coffee making facilities if that's your thing, and the usual detritus of a cruise. One point I'll make is that this is the only water that you can acquire to take back to your room with you, a can of water for 330 mils. You'd think they do bottled water, or like their sister company Celebrity, they do little cans of water, but no, that's all you can get, which I think is a touch odd. Spinning back around again, and some of the more serious storage. Here you have a wardrobe, which I am not even using, a safe as well, and then a couple of very large drawers at the bottom. But you may think, well, that's a decent sized storage unit, but there's another one over here. So the other side of this hideous sofa is another wardrobe, which is the one that I am using. And again, it has quite a large and spacious area at the bottom where you could store your cases. I've actually got mine stuffed under the bed. So full marks for storage in this cabin. There is a lot of it. It is quite well designed, it is quite discreet, and it doesn't seem to intrude on the spaciousness of the room overall. Turning around again, you have the desk area, which is obviously large enough for a laptop. Slightly strange chair coming with a handle on the back for easy movement. It's also got a very low back, so you wouldn't want to work at it for any period of time because that would start to become quite painful. 2 more American sockets, 1 European, and because it is the 21st century, 2 USB ports as well. The Penguin is not included, it's part of the room, but everybody loves them, so I brought my own. The usual paraphernalia on the back of the door about security and so on, and this is one of those rooms that has a requirement to put your card in the slot to make the electricity and the lights work, although I think the electricity does work even if the card is not present. It's okay, it does at least keep your card somewhere where you're going to be able to find it when you need to leave your room, but you've got to remember to do it, otherwise you are in the dark. Air conditioner as well. I quite like this, it's very, very sensitive and it seems to work pretty well for the room. Next to that you then have the bathroom, as you would imagine, and looking at the space between the door and the wardrobe, you're not expecting the bathroom to be particularly big, but it isn't. It's a very effective use of space. Shower cubicle is actually pretty spacious. I don't bump into the sides when I'm in there. Good strong water pressure, and it gets pretty hot too. 1 hair and body wash dispenser if you didn't bring your own stuff. And a feature I've noticed in lots of showers on cruises, which is this bar here. They all seem to have them, and I thought at first it was something to do with the plumbing, but I've had a bit of a look and I don't think it is. So if you do know what that's for, maybe it's just a footrest to help you wash, but leave me a comment with what it's actually for. That would be very interesting to see if anybody knows. Back around the cabin you have the toilet, obviously, and then you have the sink. Not huge, but there's a fair amount of storage up the sides here. No actual drawers in here, so everything you have will be on display, but that's okay. And I've left the toilet roll out because Royal Caribbean, in its wisdom, has decided to invest in the rubbish, single ply, cheap quality, awful toilet paper that you just end up using twice as much of. Similarly, but not quite so bad, are the towels, which are okay. They're not particularly large and they are not particularly luxurious, but they do the job. And finally, the balcony. Not the biggest I've ever had, but it does what you need it to do. 2 pretty comfy chairs and a table and a view. Not that I've been sitting out here much because it is the North Sea in September, but it is very nice to have this open space. Bit of an odd location because of the kink in the side of the ship, so it's not perhaps the best location to be able to watch along the length of the ship, but if you want to watch the ocean, it is perfect. So overall, a very nice cabin, spacious, good storage, let down a little bit by some of the cheapness of the facilities, but it does what you need it to do. So there you go, cabin 12654 on the Anthem of the Seas. The mirror also comes with those illuminating light circles which you see YouTubers use. It's nice to see Royal Caribbean anticipating the needs of YouTubers. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're new and you're interested in this sort of stuff. I've got 3 or 4 videos on this cruise planned if they haven't been released already, so look out for those. Please leave this video a like if you enjoyed it and leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. So thanks again for watching and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.